Hello gamers, and welcome back to another episode of Solo Spelunking. And tonight I'm going to play test something I'm working on at the moment. And if you look at this setup here, you might go, this sort of looks like a Star Wars setup, but it's not Rima Ves. And what is this guy doing now? Is he starting again another third game? I mean, he already's got Rima Ves going and Defenders of the Shadowlands. So what is going on? So no, I'm probably not going to start a third game or an entire playthrough. And I knew that it's actually time for Rima, but I was itching to try out what I'm going to try out tonight. So I might as well let the camera roll, because I'm going to play a mod I'm working on, or an expansion for my Star Wars inspired board RPG, Streamlined Outlaws in the Outer Fringe. But let's start at the beginning. So this beautiful system here is Streamlined Superheroes by John Fredericks from Sharp Mountain Games. And it has quickly become one of my favorite systems because it is easy to run and it has nice mechanics. It is flexible, and I really like the effect die and hurdle point mechanic that he uses. So basically, Streamlined Superheroes is the game that started it all, because I figured, I like these mechanics and I gotta somehow adapt them to Star Wars. So I came out with this game, which is Streamlined Outlaws in the Outer Fringe, which is a conversion of my Star Wars board RPG, my Outer Fringe series, to the Streamlined Superheroes engine. So this is the print-on-demand version. You can also get this on Drive-Thru RPG. And this uses the mechanics of Streamlined Superheroes, but it applies this board game-like structure in a Star Wars-inspired space opera universe to play a board game, basically, with it. So if you pick this up, you cannot play this without this, because it doesn't give you the core rules, how to resolve combat, how to create a character. This is all in here. This just uses this system and adds this Star Wars board gamey thing. And in the print-on-demand version, it includes the Dead or Alive expansion that I also featured on this channel here, which is the bounty hunting expansion, which fleshed out the bounty hunting part a little bit. It introduced a new starter ship and a bounty hunting mechanic for hunting the galaxy's most wanted criminals. So this is included in this print-on-demand version. On Drive-Thru, this is pay what you want. So you're perfectly welcome to download this for free if you have the base game. And it is also included in the print-on-demand version. And what I'm going to try out today is another expansion I'm working on at the moment. It has not been play tested yet. And this is for the Rebellion. And this is also an expansion for Streamlined Outlaws. This is my playtest printout. And this focuses on, as the title suggests, rebel activity during the time of the military imperium, and gives the player the possibility to play as rebel agents if they want to. So what does this expansion do? Well, it follows basically the same structure as these Dead or Alive expansion. So it starts with an introduction that sets the tone or scene, and it introduces a couple of new mechanics. So also you get, just like in Dead or Alive, you get a new starter ship that you can choose if you want to, which is the U-Foil fighter transport, which is obviously inspired by the U-Wing that is featured in Rogue One, because I really like that. So now if you use all the expansions, you can choose, if you start a new game, if you want to use the standard tram freighter, if you want to use the heavy fighter introduced in Dead or Alive, or if you want to use this U-foil fighter transport. So now you got 3 ships. So they all have 20 hull. So the U-foil is faster than the tram freighter. It's got a speed of 6. It is not as maneuverable as the heavy fighter. It also features weak shields. It does have a faster hyperdrive compared to the tram freighter and the heavy fighter, but it does deal less damage than the heavy fighter. It deals the same damage as the tram freighter, but it only has fixed cannons, so no gunner position. It has a 30-ton cargo capacity compared to the 100 tons of the tram freighter and the 10 tons that the heavy fighter has. And this is version 1.0, so here it says crew 1 to 3, but John Fredericks, he gave me some input. I sent him a preview copy to get his thoughts on things, and he suggested to bump this up to 3 so that you could have like a pilot, a co-pilot, and an engineering station. So in the latest version, crew is 1 to 3 instead of 1 to 2. You can transport 4 passengers, but you have no space to install a turret. So so that's the U-foil fighter transport, which is introduced in this expansion. Then I did something to the wanted mechanic. So I introduce missions in this expansion for the Alliance, for the Rebellion. And while you are on a mission that you have not completed yet, so while you have uncompleted missions for the Alliance, you are also wanted. So that you have this pressure of the Empire looking for you, and you got the urge to complete your Alliance mission. So, and the explanation for that, of course, is the military Imperium puts a lot of resources into uncovering and rooting out Alliance sympathizers. Therefore, it is especially dangerous to work for the Alliance. As long as you have uncompleted missions assigned to you by the Alliance, you are considered wanted. So this is one change. This expansion applies to the wanted mechanic if you have a rebel mission. Then I've introduced the concept of credit vouchers, which means, as we all know, the Alliance, they're always slow on fund or low on funds, and the funds they have, they need to purchase gear. So you don't really get rich working for the Alliance. It's about the idealistic crusade. So the missions you complete for the Alliance, they do reward a little more fame or renown as the normal jobs, but they are a little bit more difficult, but they pay you in credit vouchers, which is like a voucher worth a couple of credits, and this is an abstraction, so you can use these credits to repair your ship, to modify your ship, to buy gear, but you can't use the credits to buy cargo, to gamble, or to pay off enemies in certain encounters. So these credit vouchers represent favors the Alliance owes you for services rendered that you can collect within reason, and to put a measure on it, basically it is a credit voucher, so that you have some limit. And so this is, of course, like a flavor thing. I mean, they're almost as good as money because you can do a lot of stuff with it, but they're not money. So you can't buy cargo. You also can't use them, for example, to buy the fancy luxury item, which gives you a renown for 10,000 credits, because that's something the Alliance wouldn't have. But you could use it, of course, to buy medpacks, to buy armor, or to repair your ship. And this basically simulates, as this picture says here, Alliance mechanics working on the damaged spaceship of an independent operative. So the Alliance, they pay you in credit vouchers. So this is all about the flavor. And then we, of course, come to the meat of the expansion. Just like Dead or Alive, this expansion adds 2 new planetary actions that you can take. And basically, you can think of the planetary actions as the access points for the additional content added by the expansion. So in Dead or Alive, you can pick up the scan docs, which then initiate a hunt for a galaxy's most wanted bounty. And here you can attempt to make contact with the Alliance to get a mission. So you have to succeed at a check. This simulates to get in contact with the Alliance, and even if you have a contact, this simulates to get in touch with them without the Empire noticing. So the military imperium, as it's called here. So it is not easy. You have to be very clandestine. So this is why you have to make a check. And if you make the check, you get a mission. And the other planetary action, of course, is the action to attempt to complete a mission for the Alliance. So if you're at a mission location, just like with the job, you can attempt the mission. Then we have the Alliance missions, and there are 6 different missions in here. And they basically work like jobs. So you have to do a certain number of skill checks. And when you're done with your skill checks, the hurdle points of the mission, and they're always 14, and there are always 4 skills and 14 hurdle points. They have to be at 0 for you to complete the mission. If that is the case, you gain 3 renown and payment in vouchers. However, if you fail to get the hurdle points to 0, you will always encounter a failed mission encounter, which is a combat encounter against Imperial forces. They're not very easy, so but as a small reward, if you beat the combat encounter, you get 1 renown. If you complete the mission, 3 renown. If you fail, you roll up a failed mission encounter and you have to resolve it. And this is basically it. So that's the short expansion, and this is something I want to try out today. So I'm eager to try this out. I've already created my sector here. This is my U-foil starter ship that I will be using. I already wrote up the stats. So this is the Nightwing, the U-foil, or of course the U-wing starter ship that I'm going to use. And my character is none other than Cassian Andor, Rebel Operative, and the events take place between the first season of Andor. So first season of Andor is done. He has been taken into the inner circle by Luthen, so he didn't kill him. So you remember the finale of the first season, but we are not Andor season 2 yet. So the theft of the TIE Avenger at the Signer facility hasn't happened yet. So this game will detail Cassian's activity for the fledgling Alliance during the time between the seasons. And so these are his stats. So he's got strength 0, dexterity 3, intelligence 2, charisma 1, the usual 20 hit points. He's level 1. He's good, obviously, at security systems operation, piloting, and stealth. So I didn't give him combat. He's got to do with a D4, but because my system uses bonuses to the effect die, it is manageable. He's got a blaster pistol, which gives him +2 to the effect die, and a med pack. That's his starting gear. He didn't have more money, so we start with 1050 credits, 20 HP. This is where I track cargo and renown and enemy renown, because I will be using the optional rule that is in here. So this is like one of my early print copies. So I made a couple of changes, but not to this to the optional rules. So I'm using the optional victory condition rules, where we compete with an invisible opposing crew that works off camera, and at the end of every round I roll a d6, and on a 1 or 2 the enemy gains a renown. And if I'm at any point reduced to 0 hit points, I roll twice for enemy renown, but then I start the next round at half my maximum hit points. So I can't die, but the enemy has a chance to get up to 2 renown at the end. And this in this game, I will read this like this. So if Cassian gets to 10 renown, that means the resistance cells in this sector are so well rooted within the sector and so well established that the Empire will have a hard time in the sector, and if the enemy, the Empire, the military Imperium, gets to 10 renown, that means they have seriously cracked down on the operatives here, and we have to abandon our efforts here and leave the sector. So this is basically what this means. Yeah, so this is what I will be doing. So it'll be, again, one of my board RPG kind of games with a rebel theme. And yeah, playing Cassian Endor. And let's determine our starting position randomly with a d12. That is number 2. That is the unremarkable dump of Yumar Lima. So we are in the Yumar Lima system. It is an unremarkable dump. Okay. So yeah, unremarkable dump. Let me give you the rundown of the world type. So the unremarkable dump. An unremarkable dump is exactly that. Rundown shanty towns, unfriendly climate, and nothing of particular interest and value can be found here or there. On an unremarkable dump system, weapons, gear, modifications, repair services, legal cargo and illegal cargo are only available on a roll of 4 plus on 1d6 after you have made contact with the appropriate channels. Repairs are expensive. Carousing outcome rolls are kept at 4 on an unremarkable dump. See the planetary action descriptions for more details. So basically not an exciting planet. But before we start the adventure, let me read you the short introduction here to set the scene. So, from the upper levels of the governor's palace, the glow from the illuminated crest of the military imperium spilled outward like a promise of order. From the lower districts, it looked more like a warning. Somewhere between those perspectives, in a forgotten maintenance vault beneath a monorail junction, the strike team of the Alliance gathered for the last time before the mission. Weapons lay disassembled on a crate stamped with an obsolete corporate logo. Each piece had been checked, recalibrated, and checked again, not because anyone doubted their skill, but because doubt itself was lethal. Kelvin, the slicer, murmured to a holomap, watching patrol routes pulse in red. Kara, the medic, sealed a case of synth gel with hands steadier than her breathing. No one spoke of tomorrow. Tomorrow was an abstract problem. Tonight was precise. The governor would attend the founding jubilee, armored by ceremony and propaganda, convicted that fear had done its work. They knew better. They had studied the routines, the contingencies, the small human habits that no amount of power could erase. An elevator that paused half a second too long. A bodyguard who favored one side after an old injury. A window of 13 minutes when the palace systems would reboot after Kelvin had sent a malware spike, and the tyrant would briefly be only flesh. When the final checks were completed, Caesarion, the leader, and every intention to a known character is purely coincidental, or by coincidence, Caesarion, the leader, keyed the comm unit and let the channel go silent. There were no speeches left to give, no slogans worth repeating. Each of them carried their own reasons into the dark. A burned world, a vanished family, a future that refused to arrive on its own. They had all done terrible things for the rebellion, and they would do them again. And here we have the mission accomplished picture of the then assassinated governor. So that's to set the scene. And the alliance I'm talking about is obviously not the alliance to restore the Republic, but it's the alliance to abolish the Imperium. And in short, it's just the alliance. So, so let's start first round, and we start with the optional movement phase. So I'm on an unremarkable dump, but that's exactly the planet where you could find rebel cells. They're not of interest to the military imperium usually. So because I want to playtest this, of course, I will just start with my first planetary action. So if you play a single hero, it states here in the rules you can you can take 2 actions. If you play with more than 1 hero, it is 1 action per hero, but a single hero, you can take 2 planetary actions. Okay, so my first planetary action will be, of course, I try to make contact with my alliance contact here, because obviously I know them, but as I mentioned, it is difficult to make contact with them because because of the Empire cracking down. So I got 3 options here: charisma interaction, which is like the talking to informants stuff; intelligence systems operation, which is deep web communications, hidden bulletin boards, closed messenger groups, etc., or charisma streetwise. So you have 3 options, but you have to succeed with at least a 3 on the effect die, because in Streamlined Superheroes the effect die plays an important role, and if you succeed with a total of 6+ on the effect die, you can choose your mission. You don't have to roll for it randomly. All right, so let's go. I'm using intelligence systems operation. Intelligence I got 2, and systems operation I got a D10. So I try to make contact with my contact through hidden HoloNet forums. No, I fail, because even though I got a 7 on the effect die, I only got a 3. But I can take the oh, I made a mistake because I was still in the mental mindset in my other game. Here, you resolve the encounters before you do the actions. But this round, I will turn it around. So it says here, chapter, the rules, the round, we have the movement phase, then the encounter phase, and then the action phase. And this makes sense, of course, because here we have space encounters that should happen when you arrive in a system. So this is why the order is turned around. So yeah, but for this round only, I will do it the other way around. So second action, I will try again to make contact with my contact. Oh, and I barely succeed. I got an 8 plus 2, that's 10, and I got the 3 on the effect die that I need. So yeah, I sent a few cryptic messages, and finally I make contact to my contact. And yeah, I tell him, all right, so what's up? I got your message that you need something done, Cassian says. And the message, the text message comes back and just gives me a download link for mission details. So let's see. Mission number 1. Okay, so and here you can look at the mission and then you can decide if you want to take it. So mission number 1 is infiltration and data extraction. You are hired to infiltrate an Imperial installation, get to a specified computer terminal, extract confidential data, and escape. The skill checks required are strength, athletics for some sort of climbing and breaking in stuff, dexterity, stealth, intelligence, security systems, and intelligence systems operation. So I got to make these 4 skill checks, and at the end of these 4 skill checks, those 14 hurdle points, they have to be reduced to 0. So since I got most of the skills, except for athletics, but you always have a D4, I will take this mission. I also want to test this out. So as usual, you determine the mission location randomly with a D12 on the map, sector map 7, which is the Wretched Hive of Carmart. So on Carmart, even though it's a Wretched Hive, on a backwater or on a smaller continent, the military imperium, they have a hidden facility. So I am going to take this mission, and I'm putting it in my mission log. So Alliance M1 stands for mission 1 on Carmart. All right, now that concludes my 2 planetary actions, and now I am doing the encounter phase, which I skipped. So it's a planetary encounter. It's a D20, 15. All right, planetary encounter 15. Oh, okay, so this sort of fits. No questions asked. A suspicious group of 1d6 individuals, and then I gotta see if I got enough passenger cabins, because I got 4, needs passage to a random system. Roll 1d12 to determine the destination. No questions asked. They want to avoid any military entanglements. You can agree to transport them. As long as the group is traveling with you, you are wanted. If you complete the transport, you are paid 1,500 credits per individual. If the target system was a system under military blockade, you also gain 1 renown. Okay, so let's determine the number. 2. Okay, so I can transport them. And you know what? Let's fit this in the story. So let's just say in my correspondence with my rebel contact, with my alliance contact, they also, so this is also part of an alliance mission. They tell me that before I embark on my Carmart mission, I also have to drop off a team of operatives, a strike team, at some other mission location. So and they will pay me in vouchers. Let's just, so that it all fits thematically there, then credit vouchers. So let's see. So 2 individuals to planet 1. Ooh, Kamruk, which is under military blockade. So I'm wanted anyhow, because remember my adjustments, I got an alliance mission. So if I have an alliance mission, I am wanted until I have completed the mission as a rebel or alliance sympathizer. And I'm also wanted if I carry those people. So I got 2 operatives, 2 Kamruk, 1, and that is 3,000 credits payment in vouchers. Okay, but that'll give me a renown because it's a military blockade, but it's also, I mean, my ship is not souped up yet, and of course here I will definitely encounter Imperials, because military blockade planets have their own encounter table. And I'm wanted. So this is tough. But since I actually can't die, only the enemy can get more renown, I think I do it. It all fits. So this ends the first round. And I roll if the enemy gains a renown. So we have been through all the actions, but in a slightly, or phases in a slightly altered order. 2, and of course the enemy gets a renown. So enemy renown, which in this case is military Imperium renown, is 1. And now I start the next round and I follow the established structure. So movement first. Now I'm lucky because my Nightwing, the Nightwing, the U-Wing, has a hyperdrive of 3+, and Kamruk is only 3 hexes away. So I show the strike team aboard, and we all don't know our real names. It's still, everything is still very clandestine. So I am, what was his name? I think Glem in the first season. So I introduce myself as Glem. Hi, I'm Glem. I think we have a mutual friend. I'm your driver, if you want to call it that. Please make yourself comfortable. We'll be on our way shortly. And they just nod. It's just a small strike team of 2 people. I'm wondering, only 2 people, but I don't know what they're up to, but I don't want to know. And then we move to the Kamruk system. 1, 2, 3. Now we go into the encounter phase, and because we have traveled to a new system, we have to resolve a space and a planetary encounter, and we have to use the military blockade encounter table. So military blockade space encounter first. So we arrive in the system. I try to reduce my power emissions and as good as I can, and try to basically coast in underneath the radar. Let's see if I'm successful. 3. Of course not. The worst space encounter, or one of the worst space encounters that can happen, is the TIE Interceptor Patrol. So here it's called the DIE Interceptor Patrol, stands for Dual Ion Engine. And so I know you're waiting for it. TIE fighter sounds. Alright, so 2 TIE interceptors have picked up my sensor signature and are closing in. So TIE Interceptor Patrol. A flight of 2 dual-ion engine interceptors of the military Imperium has taken interest in you and moves to intercept and scan you. If you're not wanted, I am wanted, and don't carry, you can let them. Otherwise, you must try to evade them. Speed 11. If you succeed, you escape. If you fail, you have to fight. If you win, however, you get 1 renown. Okay, so I got speed 6, they got speed 11. And now the difference is the thing. So the difference is 5. So here, I'm working with the hurdle points now again. The evade maneuver, I really like this mechanic actually. Works like this. It's a Dex piloting challenge. So I have 3 checks to reduce 10 plus minus X hurdle points, and X is the difference. And if my ship is faster, hurdle points are reduced. Now they're increased. So the difference is 5 from 6 to 11. So I have 3 piloting checks to reduce 15 hurdle points. And handling, if I should have any, I don't, would be added to the effect die value if I succeed at the piloting check. So I do have piloting D8, but I got the feeling that this is a tough nut to crack. So my Dex luckily is +3, so it is a Dex piloting, and this is the first check, and the hurdle points are 15. Yes, look at this. So I'm just using my little great magnetic counters here. So hurdle points 15. I'm successful and I reduce by 8. So the maximum amount, meaning hurdle points go down to 7. Yes, so first check, 7. So it's looking good. So yeah, I'm making some fancy flying. I'm trying to get all the juice I can manage. I tell the strike team, hold on! And I'm doing the second piloting check. No, it's a 2. So I fail. So still at 7 hurdle points. And now I need a 7 or 8 on the effect die, or it is space combat time. Okay, so let's go. Ah, damn it. All right, 4. So I got 3 hurdle points left, which doesn't cut it. So yeah, even though I do what I can and do some fancy flying, they hold on for dear life. They grab the handles and they're impressed by my flying. But as I notice, there's no escape. I turn around, power up the guns and the shields, and yeah, and basically, so I got hull 20 and shields 2. So shields are additional hull points that regenerate between combat. So I got 22 with shields, and yeah, and we start space combat. So in space combat, the player's ship always goes first, followed by the enemies. Okay, so let me get the stats here. Okay, so yeah, I gotta use my combat skill to attack. It's only a d4, but I get the +1 damage from the cannons. So yeah, I don't have a co-pilot, sadly, because K2SO is not in my possession yet. So yeah, I gotta make do. So it's always good to have 2 people crew the ship for the synergies. So if you have an engineer who can boost your weapons, or a sensor operator, but I gotta make do with what I have. So yeah, I'm attacking +3. This doesn't count, but it's a failure. Okay, so 5 plus 3. So as expected, they evade, and then they come around for a pass and shoot at me. So they attack plus 4 with a d8. First one, plus 4 with a d8. 7 and 4. So that's a hit. So 2 goes into the shield. So I'm at 18 hull. The ship is rocked, and now the second one. 15 and 3. Down to 15 hull. All right, so this is already starting great. Next round of combat. My turn. So I attack. Let's go. Oh no, it's a natural 1. I can't believe how this is already starting again. Natural 1 would have been 5 points of damage. They have 8 hull, but natural 1. Okay, so yeah, they stick to me basically like glue and attack. First TIE Interceptor. 19 and 3, that's a hit, and the second one 6 plus 4 is also a hit. 6, so that's another 9. Okay, so I'm at 6. So this is what I mean with, so if you don't have a co-pilot and a souped up ship, I mean those are TIE interceptors after all, so I shouldn't really be able to beat them, but I mean so far I haven't scored a single hit. All right, so my turn again. Let's go. Yes, but only for 2 points of damage. So this TIE fighter, TIE interceptor here, is hit. So I graze his solar panel, and but he's still in the game. All right, ties again. First one hits for 2. I'm at 4. Second one, 17 and 5. All right, so that takes me out. So what happens now is that I do go down. So I'm severely damaged. My hull is severely damaged. I do go down. So I tell them, hold on, we're going down. And I try to find a secluded spot where I can get the ship down and lose them. So this is not really now, if it would be a real RPG, this wouldn't really make sense because they would follow me. But this is like a board game mechanism, so usually I would be dead now. So now the round immediately ends, and I have to roll twice for enemy renown. So now they have 2 chances to get a renown instead of 1. So let's go. 2 chances. And they get 1 renown. So that's the end of the round. So they're already at 2 renown. I'm at 0. And we start the new round. So the round immediately ends. We start the new round. Now we're on the planet with the movement phase. I do not want to move. So we make our way to wherever those people need to go. But now I have to resolve a military blockade planetary encounter. We are still wanted because I got the Alliance mission and the people. And that is encounter number 5. Public executions. The military imperium is rounding up wanted individuals and suspected freedom fighters to make an example of them and execute them in public without a trial. If you are wanted, yes I am, rebel sympathizer and operatives, succeed at a dex stealth or intelligence streetwise or charisma interaction check with at least a 3 on the effect die to avoid being rounded up. Okay, so let's see. Dexterity, stealth. Stealth, I only have a d6, but that's intelligence. I don't have streetwise, I don't have interaction. So I'm using dexterity, stealth, d6, and let's go. Yes, but not with a 3 on the effect die. So if you fail, I'm rounded up, roll 1d6, they get you and you are executed, game over. On a 3 to 6 you are lucky and get away last second. So this is like a save or die mechanic here, but it is the way it should be. Military blockade planets are very dangerous for wanted individuals. You don't want to be there if you're wanted. On the other hand, if you're not wanted, they're pretty safe actually. Okay, so but now I gotta roll 1 to 3, they get me. Of course, they would get me. So in game terms, because I can't die in this game, means again, we can't take any planetary actions. We have to, we get away at the last minute. We have to hide. And again, because I would be basically at 0 HP, the enemy gets 2 chances to get a renown. 1, yes. This doesn't count. Got to go through the chute. No, okay, so another renown. So far it's 3-0. The enemy, the Empire is tightening its grip on this sector. Doesn't look good. Okay, next round. Movement, no. Encounter phase. Military blockade, planetary encounter. 4. That is the military lockdown. The military Imperium has enforced a planet-wide lockdown and curfew. You can't take any planetary actions in this action phase. Okay, so we do lose another round. So we still have to hunker down. There's still going door to door, rounding up people. It's not a nice place to be. So we basically lose this round. Let's roll. But lucky, they don't get a renown. All right, next round. Try again. Encounter 3. Military entanglements. A squad of X, and X is party size, so 1 black trooper, which is a death trooper, is checking IDs, looking for wanted individuals. Yeah, I am wanted. So again, I can succeed at a dex stealth, intelligence streetwise, or charisma interaction with at least a 3 on the effect die. And I made this 3 on the effect die to really get the point across that those planets are dangerous. But if I fail, I have to fight them. It's only 1. Yeah, so let's try it again. Dexterity stealth. Oh, I got the 3 on the effect die, but again, a natural 1. Okay, so we have just entered. So me and the operatives, which are not there yet, so we have just entered the city as we are caught by a one-man patrol or by a sentry, and they have 10 hit points plus 4 and attack with a d10. Okay, so but I go first, so I'm using I go first, and I'm going to attack. Dexterity plus 3, ranged with my blaster pistol, and I got a plus 2 on the effect die. Let's go. Yes, 18, and 2 plus 2 is 4. So he's down to 6. So I do manage to get a shot in. Pew, pew. The shot glances off the armor, but he probably is affected. I dive for cover as he counterattacks with a d10 as effect die and plus 4. Yes, 8 plus 4 and 8 points of damage. So I am at 20. So my ship is at 10. Wait, I gotta get my ship because it's at half hull because it was at 0. So ship is at 10, and Cassian will be blue. I'm at 20 minus 8. So I'm at 12. Okay, let me just set this up here. So that's Cassian's HP. I'm at 12, ship is at 10. All right, next round. So I barely dive for cover. I return fire. Pew, pew. Yes, 16 and another 4. So he's at 2 HP. From 6 to 2. But now, again, the Death Trooper counterattacks. Pew, pew. Yes, for 5. Pew. So I'm at 7. 7. Pew. Ah! My turn again. So if I hit, I got a good chance of killing him. 19 for 6. Yes. So, pew. However, I managed to defeat this encounter, but I'm at 7 HP, and there's no natural healing in this game, so I would have to use a doctor. But now finally we can get into the planetary action phase. And to deliver the operatives is a free action. So it says here, deliver provided illegal cargo or disembark passengers as a free action. All right, so they thank me for the transport. They wish me luck. That was pretty tough. I hope you got better luck on your mission as you had now. And Cassian says, yeah, I gotta make some patchwork repairs, however, before I can leave this place. Hopefully I get out all right. Yeah, may the force be with you. Yeah, you too. Okay, so I delivered them, which means I can cross out this mission. However, I'm still wanted because I still have the uncompleted Alliance mission. And I have 3,000 credits now in vouchers. So let me add another list here, vouchers. And this is 3,000. Those are basically the abstracted credits, the favors I can collect from the Alliance. Like, for example, visiting a doctor, which I will do now. So, yeah, before I leave them, I ask them, well, one more thing. I'm hurting. They got me pretty good. I got a blaster burn that I need treated. Is there like a medic that is loyal to our cause here? And they go, yeah, there is. And they describe me where I can find this medic loyal to our cause. All right, so now planetary actions. The first action was free action. Now my first planetary action that I will take is I will visit a doctor, which is, if you're wounded, you can heal HP for a cost of 200 credits per HP healed per character. Only one crew member needs to take this action. All crew members are present and can receive healing. So I need 13 points. So let's make some calculations. 13 times 200, that is 2,600. So that's almost my entire voucher. So yeah, I make contact with this medic and I usher our code phrase, which is, I got friends everywhere, and he lets me in and I tell him about the encounter. Nasty encounter. They are really cracking down on this planet. Yeah, they are. They're trying to set up a planetary shield. But we have, I think, plans to take this one down. Do you? I don't wanna know too much about it, actually. But thanks. So he patches me up. So I have 400 credits left in voucher money, and I am back to full health. That was my first planetary action. And my second planetary action, so I do have 1,050 credits, and while I'm here, I think I also have to make some money for the Alliance. So I'm going to buy legal cargo. So buy legal cargo. It is 100 credits per ton up to my ship's free cargo capacity, and it sells for 150 credits on any other planet. Okay, so I don't have to roll anything, it's just legal cargo. So I have 30 tons of cargo space. So I only have 1,050 credits, so I'm buying 10 tons of legal cargo. I have 50 credits left, and my cargo is 10 legal, so that I can sell them. Okay, so that was my second planetary action. First one was visit a doctor. Second one was buy legal cargo. So now next round movement phase. I want to go to Carmart. So I can move at least 3, 1, 2, 3. But it says here, because I do have systems operation, which is also like astrogation and stuff. And so I can make an intelligence systems operation check. And if I'm successful, I add the effect die to my movement speed. So hyperspeed, that's what the 3 plus stands for. So intelligence 2, systems operation D10. Yes, 10. So I have no trouble at all reaching Carmart. So now I can relax a little bit because Carmart is a wretched hive. I don't have to fear anything from Imperials, but maybe bounty hunters, so I'm still wanted because I got this uncompleted alliance mission. And now I have to resolve the system space encounter. That's a D12. That is a 9. System space encounter number 9. And I'm still only at 10 hull. Alright, so it's a navigational hazard. On approach to the planet, you encounter some navigational hazard, an iron storm, rough weather in the atmosphere, debris from a destroyed ship, etc. Dexterity piloting check. Your ship takes 8 minus effect die total points of damage. No shields, so shields only protect you in combat. They're not effective against collisions or other types of damage. Okay, so as the better I roll, the less damage I take. That's the intention behind this mechanic. So I always try to incorporate the effect die into the system. So 8 minus effect die. So and if I fail the check, of course, the effect die total is 0, which means I would take 8 damage. So piloting is a D8. Not too bad. D8 piloting, and dex is 3. No handling yet. Handling would be added to the effect die. Come on, Cassian. Yes. So 5. So I only take 3 points of damage. So I'm at 7. So this will be, I gotta, no, the black one will be my ship. 7. So 7 for the ship and 20 for me. So yeah, the ship. So I hit some rough iron storms in the atmosphere, and there's this lightning that hits my ship, and I'm in rough shape. I need to get my ship fixed. But that was the space encounter. Now I also have to resolve the planetary encounter after I land, because I traveled to the system. 5, which is, oh, a wanted criminal. That's nice. It's an optional combat. I just leave him be. Okay, so a wanted criminal. You recognize a wanted criminal. You can choose to attack them to collect the bounty. And if I win, I get 1 renown. If I have 3+ characters, I encounter 2 criminals, but only one has a bounty and awards renown. So this is not surprising because it's a wretched hive. I don't even know. Yeah, no, I do know that. So I remember this phase from a wanted poster, but I'm not going to do anything about it. All right, planetary actions. I can take 2 actions. So one action will be, of course, to attempt to complete the mission, but the other action will be, I will sell my legal cargo. So I will sell my legal cargo for 150 credits per ton. So that's 1,500. So I have 1,550 credits. My 10 legal are gone. Cargo hold is empty. That was the first planetary action. Made some funds for the Alliance. I do need money to repair the ship and to pimp it a little. And now my second action will be, I attempt the mission for the Alliance. So that is mission number 1. Infiltration and data extraction on the system Carmart. So I make my way to this out-of-the-way facility. It's a small garrison. I got all the intel and I try to climb in. So strength, athletics. I do not have athletics, so that is a D4. And I also don't have strength. Strength is 0. Okay. And hurdle points are 14. Let me set this. Okay, let's go. Yes, 15 and 4. Lucky. So with the first check, even though I don't have anything, I reduced the hurdle points to 10. That was strength, athletics. Now I gotta sneak around the facility. Dexterity, stealth. And my stealth is a D6 and dexterity is again a 3. Dexterity, let's go. Yes, 7 plus 3, that is exactly 10, but sadly only 2 on the effect die, which brings the hurdle points of the mission to 8. So I sneak across the compound and I duck into the shadows just as a stormtrooper patrol crosses my path. I'm lucky. Now intelligence, security systems. I gotta overcome some electronic locks. But that's my prime discipline. I got D12 and my intelligence is 2. So I got a good chance of of doing it, but I haven't done it yet. So intelligence security systems. Come on, Cassian. What is it? No, it's a 6 plus 2, it's an 8. It's not successful, but it would have been 7 points, but so it's 0 points. Okay, so damn, I can't overcome this, at least not quietly and not fast. I do make my way around, go to the computer terminal, and now I need to do the systems operation, which is a D10, also good, but also intelligence. But I don't know. Let's go. No, it's a 3. It wouldn't have been enough. Okay, so as I fumble with the controls, damn it, I set off an alarm. So now I got to roll the failed mission encounter. That's a 3. Shock troopers. So that's normal stormtroopers. You encounter a squad of X plus 3 shock troopers. You make a fighting retreat. So they only attack +1 with the D6 and have 4 HP. If I win, I gain a renown. Okay, so X plus 1, so X plus 3, that is 4. 4 shock troopers. So let me get those out real quick. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So so they come up the hallway, 4 of them. They run up and with their lovely mechanical voice through their helmet speakers, they go, "It's him, blast him!" Pew, pew. All right, so but I go first. I go, you go. So I make a fighting retreat, so it's cinematic while I go down the corridor. Pew, pew. I fire off some shots with my blaster pistol. So dexterity 3, d4 plus 2 at the first stormtrooper. Oh no, it's a 4. Oh, come on, how can you be so unlucky? And only, okay, so no. Pew, pew. Okay, so now it's all the stormtroopers' turn. They return fire. They attack +1 with the d6. Okay, so +1 with the d6. That is not too bad, but still there are 4 of them. The first one, that's a miss, 6. The second one, that's a miss. The third one, that's a miss. Lucky me, stormtrooper marksmanship. And the last one. Yeah, he hits for 2. Pew! But thank God I am at full health because I went to the doctor. So I'm at 18 HP. New round, my turn. Counterattack. Pew, pew, blast a pistol. Oh no, another 3. How can you be so unlucky? I mean, I got +3. Okay, so no, I don't hit any of them. Okay, so they attack. First one hits for 6. Oh, damn it. All right, I'm down at 12. First one. Second one misses. Third one hits, but luckily there's no crit for 1, so I'm at 11. And the last one misses. Lucky. Pew, pew, pew. Okay, so I'm grazed, but now I still haven't scored a single hit. My turn again. Yes, but only for 3. They have 4 hit points. Okay, so this guy, pew, he's wounded, 3 damage. Okay. So now the stormtroopers attack. The wounded one misses. Lucky. This one hits for 6. Okay, so this one hits for 6. I'm at 5. I am at 5. That was the second one. The third one misses, luckily. And the last one misses. Whew. So that is stormtrooper marksmanship at its finest. So the hallway is filled with blaster fire, but they all miss. And I return fire. Pew, the wounded one. I want to reduce enemies. Wounded one. I only need to roll to hit. I will deal at least 1 point of damage. Come on, +3. No! A 4. I haven't scored a single hit with +3. I can't hit a 10. This can't be happening. Okay, the wounded one shoots. And he hits for 3. 9 plus 1, so I'm at 2. This one, the second one, misses. Lucky. 8 plus 1 is 9. Okay, the third one misses. Okay, the fourth one hits for 2, taking me to 0. Okay, so again, I would be dead, but by my optional rules, so I make my escape. I don't get any renown. I failed the mission, and I also didn't complete the combat encounter, which would have given me a renown. So the round immediately ends. I roll twice for enemy renown. Twice. Lucky, 3 and 5. So even though I didn't get any renown, the enemy also didn't get a renown. And I start the new round with half my hit points. That's what the optional rules say. And yeah, I would start a new round with an optional movement phase, but this is where I will end this session. So far, I do have fun, but it's obviously not going my way. I'm at 3-0 for the enemy. And as you have seen, even with a dexterity of +3, for me it is very hard to hit a 10, to hit a single stormtrooper. But of course, this is how I roll. So yeah, but I will definitely continue this. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little interlude. So the next video will be, of course, Rima Ves, and but I wanted to get this to the table, to get a feel for it, to try it out, and yeah, to see how it goes. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little interlude, and I can't promise that you won't see more of this. And I hope you enjoyed the video. It's quite long actually. So thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay healthy. And until next time, bye bye.